Chocolate cake time, honey. It's Wednesday. We deserve chocolate cake. We're cruising right through the week here. So this is the flourless chocolate cake that I was going to make for Sarah's birthday, but then on Monday, but we were out on the grill. So we switched it up. So right now what I'm going to do is show you how to make the most decadent, rich, fudgy, flourless chocolate cake. It can be for all the gluten-free people in your life or just us in general. And because it's gluten-free, you can eat twice as much. Just kidding. Don't take dietary advice from me. So I got a half a cup of super hot butter. Into that, we're getting in the good chocolate chips. This is one of those moments, listen, chocolate's the star of this dish. You don't want to get the cheap chocolate chips. You want the good ones. So I'm going to let those chocolate chips just sit in that hot butter. Let them get melted while I get other stuff together. I just use a regular cake pan for this. Regular 8-inch cake pan. I think it works great. You don't need a springform pan. And I'm going to show you one of the tricks to a flourless chocolate cake is you have to put a little parchment at the bottom. It helps it because you got to flip it out and it helps keep it from sticking really well. So all I do when I do this, I just do this. I just draw a circle and I cut it out. Sarah had a much prettier way to do it earlier today. She made like some sort of snowflake or, of course you're not gonna write today. Let's see if we can find another one. Are you gonna write today? There we go. She had like some sort of snowflake contraption that she threw in the bottom of the pan. I was very impressed. I think we've all learned I am not the crafting mom. I don't know if I've ever made a snowflake. So all I do is I just cut this out. I cut like right along the inside so that way the pen isn't in your cake at all. But it'll be close enough. And while we're doing this, those chocolate chips are getting nice and hot and melty. And so you don't send me a message later about what kind of chocolate chips are the good chocolate chips. To me, the Ghirardelli. Spend the extra 75 cents to $1. Get the Ghirardelli chocolate chips. They are just rich, delicious, fabulous. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and get this on the bottom of my cake pan, and then I'm gonna spray the whole thing to make sure nothing sticks, including the parchment. Beautiful. All right, let's take a look at our chocolate here. This should be nice and melted. And if it's not, so you're gonna whisk it, and if it's not melted yet, throw it back in for like 15, 20 seconds, and then stir it again. But this looks fantastic. Now, if I put eggs in here right away, it's a little warm, so they're gonna scramble. So I'm not looking to do that. Let's get our other ingredients in first. We got 3/4 of a cup of regular sugar, and I just do it all in the mixing cup here if you have a big one. Otherwise, a big glass bowl will work great. And I'm gonna add in a little dash of vanilla. There we go. Just a little bit. If I ever measure, I would be shocked. Never do it. And I'm also gonna add a little salt in here because we love the sweet and salty. Salt is gonna bring out the flavors of those chocolate chips. I use semi-sweet, which is on the darker side, so it's just gonna bring out a beautiful flavor from that chocolate. It's gonna open your taste buds, get that chocolate tasting nice and rich and dark. If you are a coffee lover at this point, feel free to add in a little powdered espresso in here at this point. Just a little teaspoon. That'll help also elevate those chocolate flavors. And then I'm gonna get a little cocoa powder in here as well. Let me get this out of here for a moment. I'll usually use a little strainer to do this just because sometimes cocoa powder can get a little lumpy. So I just do this. If you don't want to and you want to dump it in, that's fine. But this just kind of helps bring it all together really smooth. And then when you do get those lumps like that, then you just take your measuring cup and do that. Like I said, that's an added step if you got the time. If you don't stress about it. All right, give it another whisk. And now that I've added these dry ingredients in here, that's definitely cooled down that butter. Cocoa powder is so messy, by the way. This is what your countertop looks like after you make this cake. Same, honey. So I'm gonna let this cool down for just one more minute. Now I do have room temperature eggs sitting here. I find that it just melds in much easier if you have room temperature eggs. But let's say you don't have room temperature eggs, they're coming straight from the fridge. What I do is I'll fill a bowl with some medium warm to hot water, and I'll gently place the eggs in there for like a minute or two. That at least takes the chill off them, helps get them a little more room temperature. Now, while I'm letting this cool down, I'm gonna go ahead and make whipped cream. Now, this is silly, but one of the ways that I like to make whipped cream is I like to make a flavored whipped cream. Let me get it started here. I got some Lamer's heavy cream here. I'm gonna get this rolling. And I'm gonna show you my secret ingredient here. All right, you do your thing. Now, I am gonna be making a whipped cream and I'm gonna add some raspberry jam once it gets a little stiffer. And that way I can garnish this cake with fresh raspberries, a little raspberry jam. You can add anything you want to this. A lot of times I add liquor to this, a little Bailey's or a little Kahlua for this chocolate cake. But I also love, you can do a strawberry preserve, orange marmalade with a little fresh orange zest. Whipped cream to me is one of those things that is a blank canvas. You can do whatever you want. So, while this is whipping up, now this has had a moment to cool. Let's get 3 eggs in here. Like how I do it all just in the glass measuring cup. It's just less dishes for all of us. And give those a nice little whisk in there. I'm gonna pause for a moment. When I'm making whipped cream, this is my process. So right now, it's getting thicker, nice soft peaks. Now is the time to add the powdered sugar. That's gonna help stabilize this. So I just wanted to show you it's nice and thick. That Lamer's heavy cream is fantastic. It whips up so beautifully. I'm gonna add a little bit of powdered sugar to this, and now I'm gonna whip it till it's much firmer. But get a little bit of that sweetness in there. I'll throw a little dash of vanilla in there for good measure as well. Just a little bit. Multitasking here. Now I'll continue to whisk up my chocolate cake and eggs. And then this batter is done. It's all made with pantry staples, which I love. So if you need a dessert on the fly, this flourless chocolate cake is elegant, but also using all the things you have in your pantry already. So that makes life a little easier. All right, so now we got some thick, rich, heavy cream. Now is the time we're gonna add in a little jam. So this is nice and thick and rich, and I love that, so get it back in. And now just add as much strawberry jam as you like, and we're just gonna kind of fold it all together. Come on, baby. I was just talking about going back to the gym. Oh, got it. Sarah was ready, because Sarah goes to the gym all the time. She was ready for me. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and let's start with 1 big scoop, and then we'll taste it. MITG, see how we feel about it. But now I'm just gonna kind of scrape the side of the bowls, let this just come together. That's just gonna add just kind of a nice little elegant twist to it. Fold it together. Now I got my greased pan here. Make sure I got all this mixed really well. Pour it in. It's a very goopy cake because that flour isn't in there, that gluten's not in there to make it rich. You stop, you're good. And I'm gonna go ahead and get that in there. We're gonna bake this at 375 degrees. And then you're gonna let it, when you pull it out of the oven, you're gonna let it sit. You're gonna let it hang out so it cools down because it's a kind of a gooey cake. And let me show you what it looks like. We pulled one earlier today. You come here. So it's thin and fudgy and so decadent. I'll hit it with a little bit of powdered sugar. And then I'll serve it with, I'm gonna give this one final stir. I don't wanna over whip it, but let me show you the color of this whipped cream. And Sarah, I'm not gonna put it on the cake because I know you need your picture, but you're gonna see the picture of this later. But you got this light pink raspberry whipped cream, and we'll serve it with some fresh berries as well. This couldn't be easier. It comes together so fast. I will post this recipe after the show.